Hello everyone, ever been interested in Buddhism? Well, in today's episode we're going to go through Buddhism in 10 minutes in a way you can understand. Hello everyone, I'm going to attempt to describe the 6 important principles of Buddhism in 10 minutes. Stick around, it's an incredible philosophy and I think it's worth everyone understanding why so many people are turning to Buddhism in these very difficult times. Now, as always, I'm going to start with a quote from my homeboy, the Buddha. And the Buddha said about 450 BC, he said, "The way is not in the sky, the way is in your heart." Now, I think what Buddha was trying to illustrate there was we look outside of ourselves all the time and we're always trying to find meaning, or we're trying to get feedback and trying to understand our position in the world. Buddha was very aware that this would never bring happiness. In fact, it would always create dukkha, suffering or unsatisfactoriness. And he realized that inside your heart, when you could connect through meditation or other skills, you could find your way. It was never outside of you, it's always inside of you. Now, this guy, I've got lots of pictures of the Buddha around. I really thank him so much for taking the time out to really think about the big issues, and I can guarantee you that there's millions and millions of people around the world who really hold the Buddha in high esteem, because he sat down, he went without food for weeks, he tried everything that was available to him in order to find the way out of pain and suffering, and he was liberated. He reached nirvana and he shared that with us. Now, I'm going to go through the 6 key principles of Buddhism. I think you'll find that they're quite relevant in Christianity, Islam, Jewish Torahs and other holy books. However, the way the Buddha described them, I think, is just exceptional. His works were written down very well. I think that Jesus was enlightened, and I think that his teachings probably were more told as stories, and we've lost the interpretation of the true meanings of Jesus. So I think the Buddha is another good holy man to look to in order to find peace in your time. So the first principle of Buddhism is very simple: to live a life full of compassion. Now, when I first started studying Buddhism and following it, I didn't get compassion. I was like, what is compassion? It's not something I'd ever focused on. It sounds a bit girly actually to me. I'm a masculine guy. I don't want to be pussy and thinking about compassion all the time. But as you start meditating, you naturally become more compassionate, because as you connect more with everyone around you, you start to realize that their pain is your pain. I mean, on the most superficial level, when they're angry, they'll try and make your life hell. So by being compassionate and understanding where people are coming from, not only do they seem to become more at peace and your life becomes easier, you stop holding grudges. You understand that the person who cut you off was probably just busy, and maybe they're just upset, and maybe their life isn't perfect. All of a sudden you lose the anger that you might have driven around for 30 minutes with. So compassion is the key, or one of the keys to Buddhism, and it's the first thing that you really want to wrap your head around. It's just giving people a break. It's really important. Just letting them go and understanding that they've got some tough things going on in their lives as well. One of the reasons that Buddha felt that being compassionate was so important, that as you live a compassionate life, you generally don't have much drama. And my life is a drama-free zone, and compassion drives that. He said that, the Dalai Lama said this, he said that live a compassionate life, so when you're old, you can look back on it twice and be happy again. So you can live 2 happy lives. You can live the life that you lived where you were happy, and then when looking back, you're not thinking about the fights and arguments. You can have happy memories about the things you did and the achievements that you had. Number 2, pay attention. This moment is all you have, and if you daydream, you lose it. And if you lose this moment, you lose everything you have. So I have a video on mindfulness that helps you understand that a little bit better, but pay attention. Be here, don't be somewhere else. Be where your body is, and amazing things will unfold. Number 2, pay attention. 3, Gandhi said something very interesting, and he did quite well kicking the British out of India. He said, be the change you want to see. Now, I can tell you it's frustrating when I see starvation and I see politicians just doing knucklehead things all the time. But I understand that being angry at them or trying to fight them will not help the cause. I need to be like I want other people to be, and then the world will reflect that. It's really interesting and a little bit crazy, I know, but when you become the change you want to see, you start to see it. Now, it's impossible that the entire 6 billion people on the planet changed, but maybe something inside of you changed, and the filter that you look through has changed, therefore you see more of the things you want to see. So be the change you want to see. Number 4, embrace death. You're going to die. It's incredibly beautiful that you're going to die. In fact, it creates a book stop which allows you to really appreciate every moment in your life. I talk to people about this all the time, and I ask them, would you like to live forever? And they often say yes. But when we discuss it further and further and further, we start to understand that, would you like to watch your favourite movie forever? No, of course you wouldn't. Although it's a great movie, the fact that the movie ends is what makes it amazing. Death will come to you. Live your life like you're going to die, and you'll live it well. Number 5, which is one of the key understandings of Buddhism, is called the middle way. Now, the middle way is a great way that the Buddha explained how to live a moral life. He didn't say, and he tried these things, he tried it, and he has experience. He didn't say, go out and be an absolute holy man, and go sit in a cave and meditate for 40 years. But at the same time, he said, don't go out and buy Ferraris equivalent, chariots, whatever he had in his day. But don't go out and just be a high roller and stuff like that, because either one of those will create the most pain. But in the middle way, which is moderate eating, moderate thinking, doing the right thing, just following the middle way is enough to be happy. And what he found is that as a human, you have natural happiness inside of you. What generally takes away from that happiness is tanha, or thirst, the desire for better things. I've got a nice car, but I want a better car. Well, that creates pain. Following the middle way is a conservative approach, living within your means, so you can just embrace the essence of happiness which is already inside of you. Number 6, relieve the 3 poisons. Now, these 3 poisons are really, really important, because when I meet people who are in a bad way or see the world as a hostile place, they generally are under 3 of these poisons. The first one is greed. Greed is crazy because there's never enough of what you want to make you happy. There is never enough. I don't care if it's Star Wars figurines or Mimco bags or whatever it is. There's never enough of that to feel what you think you have, because that desire will only grow. Greed is what really creates evil in the world. I can tell you there's lots of billionaires who just have enough money and they'll be fine, but they continually exploit employees, exploit forests and exploit minerals in order to follow that greed. Now, there's a lot of great billionaires as well, but greed is really underpinning why money can be seen as the root of all evil. It's not, it's greed. The second is hatred. How many people do you know that just hate another religion or hate another country or even hate another soccer team? Hatred grows and spreads. Hatred is an unnecessary evil, and it only hurts you. Hating someone doesn't affect them. If you hate someone across the room, they don't get, aches and pains around their neck. You get aches and pains around your neck. So it's quite smart to drop hatred, because it just hurts you, and if you love yourself and you hate someone else, you're simply going to be manifesting that hatred on yourself. So just don't do it. And the final of the 3 poisons, delusion. Look at things as they are, not better than they are or not worse than they are. Live in the moment. You have no problems in the moment. You have oxygen, you have breath, you have everything you need. The delusion that you could be better, or something, you could have another item that would make your status, or you could go on a holiday and make you happy. These delusions, these thoughts, just thoughts. The key is to understand their delusions and to live your life within the reality that's happening. Whatever's happening in your life right now is absolutely perfect. The entire universe has conspired to create it. Wishing it was different will create massive amounts of pain. Living within it and then acting to create the change you want, or being the change you want, will create real value. Buddhism has revolutionized my life, and I love talking about it. There's no God, no one's on the streets trying to convert anyone, because they're all pretty happy people. So maybe you might not need to become a Buddhist, but I'm sure you can integrate some of these things into your life. Living a life with compassion, paying attention, being the change you want to be, embracing death, following the middle way, and relieving yourself of greed, hatred, and delusion are great for anyone, Buddhist or non-Buddhist. So thank you very much, and I'll speak to you soon. I wore this suit to give you a very serious message. That message is that I have an Instagram account now with thousands of followers. I would love you to join. So check me out at 1 Year Life Challenge on Instagram. I'd love to see you there. Heaps of photos of me topless or in a suit, and I'm happy to listen to your demands. Thank you, and check me out on Instagram.